Hello, friends. Welcome to Trivia Over Tea, the quiz show podcast where we drink tea and play trivia. I am your host, Matthew Cook, and this is our 101st episode. I might just say the episode number in each of our successive episodes from now on, now that we've gotten over this illustrious 100th episode milestone. Today we're going to have a little bit of a different episode, a little different format today. One of our 100th episode contestants, Jasper Davidoff, has so graciously written a set of questions about transit. And I am going to be asked some of those questions. And we also have somebody else here who's going to be asked those questions, and that is Peter Hodge. And so I'll hand it over to Jasper in just a second. I also want to acknowledge for our 100th episode, thank you for listening to that. If you listened, if you haven't listened to that, this is your reminder to go listen, and then you can re-listen to this episode and accept my thank you for listening to the 100th episode. But I also want to acknowledge, because I forgot to do this, that some of the questions in the first round of the 100th episode were written by some other people other than myself and my brother. Caitlin Fick, Matthew Hauser, Lucas Hauser, Tanner Tim all contributed many questions to our show over the last several years, and some of them ended up in that set. And all of them, fortunately, were on the episode last week, which was really, really wonderful. So we thank them. And so now let's get to this. I really have no idea how this is going to go. I have no idea how many questions Jasper has. And I'm worried that my knowledge of transit systems will be inadequate, but we'll find out. So Jasper, well, actually, before you start, let's have Peter introduce himself, and then we'll get to Jasper. So hi, Peter. Good to see you again.
Yeah, great to be back. I'm very pleased to be back on Trivia Over Tea. I am here because transit is something that I care a lot about, and so I'm excited to compete, hopefully for my first ever Trivia Over Tea win against the creator himself, Matthew Cook. Yeah.
Transit, trivia, and tea. Can you think of a more incredible combination?
Oh, and today I brought a very special type of tea to this recording session. The tea.
Oh, you stole my pun.
I hate you.
I had one thing. That's okay. You deserve it. You deserve it. And you gave me my own green tea magnet, which I should have brought, but again, you thought of it first. So so well done.
I feel like it's only fair that Peter gets to use that joke because he is the Bostonian on this episode.
No, it's totally fair. It totally, yeah.
Yeah, but that's funny, Peter. For those of you who are not watching this, who are listening, Peter held up the symbol for the T, as in the Boston T system. Yeah. So quite funny.
Who knows
Very
if
good.
that will even come up today?
Who knows?
Who knows?
But only
no one knows. Yeah.
Only Jasper knows. So Jasper, why don't you take it away?
Yeah. Well, absolutely. Thank you so much, Matthew, for for having me. This is a thrilling occurrence on truly, a podcast that not only means so much to all of us, but of course has garnered so many accolades over the last couple of years. It's it means everything. It's in the presence of legends. So, well, I was gonna suggest that this episode be trivia over the tea, but out of pure spite, it's now trivia over trains. So deal with it.
I'm not sorry.
Well, you gotta be who you are. Welcome to Trivia Over Trains. I'm Jasper Davidoff, your Matthew for the episode. And shall we get into it? What do you think? Matthew, you'll have to let me know if I'm deviating from any of the rules, but I believe round 1 is 10 points each, and I'll do my best to...
Oh, you have like a full
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay, great.
Listen, this is not even remotely the number of questions that I could have written about transit.
No, I'm sure. Actually, just a question: Are you keeping score? Should I keep score? Who's keeping score?
I can if you want. I think.
Okay.
Pretty good at mental math.
Okay. Do you have something to write it down? Have I ever sent you the Excel spreadsheet that we use?
No, but whatever.
Okay.
We don't even have to keep score, but I think we should know who wins. So.
And I think we definitely need to keep score.
Okay.
for the permanent record. It's
All right.
it's necessary. Sorry
Because-
if there's a fly that's flying around my room.
Oh no.
Sorry, keep going.
And Matthew,
right.
is this your first time playing?
Oh
as
yeah,
a
that's a great
contestant?
question.
No, there's been a couple of episodes where Carter and I have faced off against each other, and I have made the bad decision of letting Mason write all the questions. Yeah. And then a couple weeks ago, we did a little mini episode where Mason wrote 10 questions for me, and I did better on those. But this first time that we've had a third party completely take over here. So
yeah. 3 T's, 3 parties.
Three dudes.
So true. Okay. So do we want to reset? I don't know if this is going to make it into the edit.
This has already gone off the rails.
The listeners love an intimate experience. They want to feel in the room.
Okay.
I say we just keep going.
All right. Well,
since it's very clear to the listeners now that we really have put no thought whatsoever into this episode.
Zero plan. Okay. In that case, it's time for round one. Round one, you may sense a theme, is about local transit. Peter, are you ready? We're going to start with you.
I hope so.
Okay, here we go. Question one. On June 16th, the Los Angeles Metro opened its regional connector, creating the extended A and E lines. Which of the following is not a terminus of the A or E lines? A, East LA Civic Center, B, downtown Santa Monica, or C, downtown Long Beach?
I'm going to go with A.
Yes, that's correct. East LA Civic Center, near the terminus of the E line, but the final stop is Atlantic. Question two. Every heavy rail line on BART, which is to say Bay Area Rapid Transit, makes stops in A, San Francisco, B, San Jose, or C, Oakland?
Oh, that's tricky. I mean, it's definitely either San Francisco or Oakland. I'm gonna say San Francisco.
No, the answer is actually Oakland. All of them go through the Transbay Tube, except for the Orange Line, which is on the east side of the bay and goes from San Jose to Richmond. Question three. If I wanted to take regional rail, a metro, a light rail trolley, a trolley bus, and a motor bus all in one day, I could do so in A, Philadelphia, B, Atlanta, or C, Cleveland.
Could you read the transit options again?
Yes, regional rail, a metro, a light rail trolley, a trolley bus, and a motor bus. A trolley bus, by the way, has the pantograph that extends it to electric cabling.
And it was
Philadelphia,
and the answers were
Atlanta, or Cleveland.
I'm gonna say Philly.
Yes, you're right.
Okay.
By the way, there's one other city where you could do that. This is not for a bonus point, but do you know what it is?
Oh. I mean, probably New York, but
No, it's actually Boston.
We have trolley buses. Okay.
Apparently, I don't know, according to what I read. And the MBTA also runs ferries, so they got the edge. Okay. Question four. The term Subway Series historically refers to a slate of Major League Baseball games played between New York City teams, but the term does not apply to the 1889 World Series between the New York Giants and the Brooklyn Bridegrooms. Why is that? A, there was no transit service available yet to Washington Park where 4 of the games were played. B, the subway was not open yet. C, the series was never canceled. The series never happened. It was canceled because of an outbreak of the Russian flu.
What year was this again?
1889.
I'm gonna say that there was no subway yet. I think that was B.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. The subway opened 15 years later in 1904. Also, technically not even a New York City series because Brooklyn wasn't yet part of New York City. And question 5, the fare card for the Massachusetts Bay Transportation Authority is named after Charlie, the main character in a 1949 song called MTA. The song narrates how Charlie can't get off a Boston subway car. For what reason? A, he doesn't have enough money for the exit fare. B, as a Yaley, he refuses to exit into Harvard Square. or C, he is drunk?
So I was actually in an MBTA museum the other day, and I was reading a children's book about Charlie,
Oh, wow.
and I now cannot remember the reason he couldn't get off. So could you read the three options once more?
Sure. A, he doesn't have enough money for the exit fare. B, as a Yaley, he refuses to exit into Harvard Square. Or C, he is drunk.
I'm gonna go with A.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Exit fares were new in the 40s, but they were eliminated in the subway in 2006 with the introduction of the Charlie card. The song lyrics, by the way, are very charming. When he got, I don't know what the tune is, but when he got there, the conductor told him, "One more nickel." Charlie couldn't get off that train. Okay, a very strong start, Peter. I think you only got one wrong, so uh, way to make an entrance, as
Thank
one
you.
says. Matthew, are you ready for your 5 questions?
Yeah, I'm very worried now, actually, after hearing those. So
Yeah, that was intimidating. Well, here we go. I have faith in you.
thank you.
On June 16th, the Los Angeles Metro opened its regional connector, creating the extended A and E lines. Which station did not open as part of the regional connector? A, Little Tokyo Arts District, B, Pershing Square, or C, Historic Broadway?
Oh, wait. Wait, can you repeat the question one more time?
Yeah, so on June 16th, the LA Metro opened the regional connector, creating the extended A and E lines.
Mm-hmm.
Which station did not open as part of the regional connector? And the options are Little Tokyo Arts District, Pershing Square, and Historic Broadway.
Okay. I've not ridden the Los Angeles Metro yet in the calendar year 2023. However, I do know that Pershing Square has been a station, so I'm going to go with that.
Yeah, good intuition. Pershing Square has been a stop on the B and D lines, or red and purple for those of the classic variety.
I'm a classic colors man.
As you should, as you should, as you
I
should.
don't know any of the letters.
Yeah, I felt mixed about when the Metro went from colors to numbers and letters, or just letters, I guess. And notable that the Gold Line extension is still legally and in terms of marketing called the Gold Line extension. It's not
really?
yet the A line. So strange times.
Yeah.
Question 2: the Washington Metro reached its all-time daily ridership record on January 20th, 2009 for Barack Obama's first inauguration. Which day set the second highest record? A, January 23rd, 2013. That was Obama's second inauguration. B, January 21st, 2017, which was the Women's March on Washington. And C, January 6th, 2021, when you know what happened.
Mm-hmm. I think it was the Women's March.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
That was just over 1 million riders on that day, compared to 1.12 million for Obama's first inaugural. Question 3: in season 6 of the Netflix show BoJack Horseman, Diane Nguyen mistakenly boards a Green Line L train to head to O'Hare International Airport. Which line should she have taken instead? A, the red line, B, the orange line, or C, the blue line?
I think it's the blue line because I rode this last month.
Yes, I remembered that you did. And good memory. Interesting fact about this sequence. I don't know if either of you have seen BoJack, but it's a funny joke because at first I thought that, oh, they don't know what they're talking about. Why is she getting on the Green Line train to get to O'Hare? And then, of course, the character's like, no, you're on the wrong train. But that joke doesn't make as much sense when you consider that the blue line, which terminates at O'Hare, runs in the Milwaukee Dearborn subway through the loop, whereas the Green Line runs elevated. So she was nowhere near close to being able where she would have been able to get onto. Tut. Question 4: the Metro subway link serves A, Baltimore, B, Minneapolis, or C, Miami?
Metro subway link.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy. Well, I know that there is a subway in Baltimore. I don't think there's a subway in Miami. I think they just have a monorail. And I have no idea about Minneapolis. I'm going to say Baltimore.
You are right. It serves 14 stations on a single line.
Oh.
Good job, Subway Link. Yeah. I have no idea whether Miami has a subway. Never been to Miami. The question 5: the South Lake Union streetcar began operating in Seattle in 2007. What urban legend has followed the streetcar since then? A, the streetcar's route detours around the Amazon complex in downtown Seattle because Jeff Bezos pressured city leaders not to have to see it from his office window. B, the streetcar's name was originally South Lake Union Trolley, leading residents to create t-shirts that read "Ride the SLUT." Or C, the streetcar's opening was delayed by 2 years because a portion of the tracks through the University of Washington were laid on the wrong street.
Ooh, wow. I'm the all great options.
Thank you. I had fun writing them.
Trying to remember exactly where South Lake Avenue is. Because I was in Seattle earlier this year. I don't think I can remember where it is. We'll go with C.
C, it was the tracks through the University of Washington were
Yes.
on the wrong street. Unfortunately, it was actually Ride the Sled.
Oh,
But
that
to
was
be
my
fair,
second choice.
this is an urban legend. It's not actually true. But residents did make those T-shirts, and at the streetcar's opening, Mayor Greg Nichols referred to this nickname by saying, "I don't care what you call it, as long as you ride it." So
Actually, fun fact: Anna Sivovich is actually coming over to my house this afternoon because she's in town.
oh
And
wow, that's
so
so
I'm
exciting.
gonna ask her if she's ever ridden that. And see
Yeah, I'm
what she
sorry for
says.
saying the word. I know this is a family-friendly podcast.
Well, I'll definitely bleep it out.
Okay.
No, that's fine. Yeah. Fun
All
fact.
right. Fun fact.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, if my math is correct, we are at a very tense and exciting 40-40. So
Thank you
that
for
makes
asking me questions about transit systems that I've actually used, or most of the questions at least are about transit systems that I've actually used.
yeah,
When
that
yeah. Anyway.
that was the idea. Okay, moving on to round two. I believe questions are now worth 20 points if we're following the TOT formula. And you can also steal, right, at this point, since they're open-ended. Okay. So zooming out from local transit services, this round is now about regional transit. That is to say, mostly Amtrak. And a little twist, these sets are about these sets are about train service on the east and west sides of the country. And I was planning to have it so that if one of you were in the lead, then you could pick which one. But since you're tied, I guess we can flip a coin. Would that work?
Fine with me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm gonna flip a coin by Googling flip a coin. Peter, since you're the guest, I suppose, would you like to call it?
Sure, I'll call tails.
All right, it was heads. So Matthew, would you like the east or west? Mostly Amtrak questions.
Oh boy.
And I'll note that this is interesting because you are both East Coasters who have spent chunks of time on the West Coast. So could go either way. Choose wisely.
I'm thinking that maybe I actually want the East Coast. Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm gonna say the East Coast. Maybe I'll regret that later, but yeah, say
All
East.
right. Well, let's get to it then. Regarding the East Coast, question one: what is the okay, now that I'm saying this, I realize it's a little bit of a giveaway, but I think you'll get it anyway. What is the fastest train service in North America?
I presume it's the Acela Express.
It absolutely is. Acela reaches speeds of 150 miles per hour, which qualifies it as high speed, but only over 49.9 miles of its 457-mile route.
Sad.
Alas, for now. Question two: on September 22nd, the private rail company Brightline launched a new service in Florida that peaks at speeds of 125 miles per hour. For 10 points each, you can name either or both of the cities that it travels between.
I believe Orlando and Miami.
That's exactly right. Takes about 3.5 hours compared to roughly 4 hours driving. So Floridians, keep an eye out. Question three: Amtrak's 1,480-foot platform in Lorton, Virginia, is longer than the Sears Tower is tall. What longest passenger train in the world does it serve?
It's the auto train.
absolutely is the Auto Train, which transports passengers and their vehicles, including jet skis, if you want. I didn't know that, between DC and Orlando. It boasts 2 locomotives and more than 40 passenger cars and vehicle carriers.
Yeah, the station's about 15 minutes, 20 minutes from my parents' house in
Oh,
Fairfax
sweet.
County. We thought about we have thought about taking it on numerous occasions down to Florida where our grandparents live, but it's we've never done it actually. But
Well, maybe worth a trip if you want,
perhaps.
or not. I mean, you don't even need to take the car. You could just get on. Question 4. In 2015, then New Jersey Governor Chris Christie was asked to leave his seat on the Acela Express, rather. Can't read. Why?
Oh, he was asked. This was in 2015.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Um, why would he have been asked to leave his seat? Did he wait? Well, there was that whole bridge thing with the George Washington Bridge. That was a bad scandal for him. Maybe it had something to do with that. Um, but maybe he bought the wrong ticket or was in the wrong car. Hmm. Um, maybe he got on the wrong train. I don't know. Let's say um he was like not in the right seat or in the right car.
That's close. Can I ask you to be more specific?
Okay.
Considering, I don't know if you've ever been on the Acela.
I've not been on the Acela.
Okay.
Was he perhaps was he in the quiet car and he was being
He
loud?
was he was in the quiet car and he was being loud. Very, very good, Matthew. Amtrak's quiet car guidelines for those like Matthew who haven't been on that particular trip ask passengers not to make phone calls or conduct loud conversations. Christie said he ended up in the quiet car accidentally, and to be fair, the signage is not the most obvious. A passenger on the train told press he repeatedly complained, and this is my Chris Christie, "This is freaking ridiculous." It's not very good. I didn't practice.
Yeah.
All right. Question 5 for a clean sweep of the Eastern Amtrak. Thurmond, West Virginia is the smallest community served by Amtrak. Within a margin of error of 10 people, I would like you to guess its population as of the 2020 census.
Thurmond, West Virginia. Hmm. Let's within a margin of 10 people. So let's say 47. Why not?
47 is a great guess, but it's unfortunately incorrect. Peter?
I'm gonna say 70.
70 is a little bit off in the wrong direction. The correct answer is 5.
Oh,
Thurmond
Wow.
lies along the Cardinal Route connecting New York, Washington, and Chicago. It's the smallest town in West Virginia, in addition to the smallest community served by Amtrak. During the June 14th, 2005 city elections, 6 of the city's then 7 residents sought elected office.
for how many seats are
That
on?
I'm not sure
Okay.
about. I don't care about this quite that much to
Oh,
do
okay.
that to do that research.
See, here at Trivia Over Tea, we require in-depth research
Right.
for fun facts. So keep that in mind for the future.
I do apologize.
Mhm.
Great job. That was a really compelling 4 out of 5 for an
Thank
additional
you.
80 points. So Peter, you've been stuck with the West. How do you feel?
I'm definitely a little bit more nervous about this round than the last one. But I think there's also less complex Amtrak service on the West Coast. So I'm hoping that that helps me a little bit, but we'll see.
That's an interesting insight. All right, we'll see if you're right. Question 1, the Empire Builder serves the most communities of any Amtrak service, making 45 stops in 8 states. For 10 points each, name either or both of the West Coast cities where it terminates.
Wait, isn't the Empire Builder the one that connects Chicago to Seattle?
Seattle is one of the correct answers. Yeah.
Okay. The other West Coast city.
Mhm.
I would have, if you had asked me that without it being the West Coast, I would have said Chicago and Seattle.
So
but I'm
Chicago is correct, but to be clear, like the Lakeshore Limited, which we've discussed taking, it splits. So there are two answers on the West Coast where the train terminates.
I see. Is the other one Portland?
It is Portland. Good job.
Great.
All right. And for anyone considering taking the Empire Builder, you can go through Minneapolis and St. Paul and Big Sky Country in Glacier National Park, which sounds beautiful. I've been meaning to take it. It's one of the ones that I'd like to explore.
Is this
Question
just an
two.
unpaid advertisement for Amtrak? Is that what this
Who said
entire
it was
episode is?
unpaid?
Oh. Well, hope that I'll be getting some Venmo money. But anyway,
Yeah. No, we haven't coordinated, but Amtrak, if you'd like to make me an influencer, they have a great digital media presence.
They do.
Some of the best Instagram memes that I've seen. So Amtrak, my DMs are open. We'll say at Jasper Davidoff on Twitter. Although actually, I'm not even sure that you can DM anyone on Twitter that you don't know anymore because of reasons. Question 2. The California Zephyr, Amtrak's longest daily route, takes passengers between Chicago and Emeryville, which is part of what metropolitan region?
Emeryville?
Yeah.
I guess, I mean, it's right next to Oakland. I don't know if it counts as like the Bay Area. Is that?
Yeah, the Bay Area is what I was
Okay.
looking for.
Okay.
Emeryville is in northwest Alameda County. It's the main Amtrak through point for the Zephyr, as well as 3 other routes. So once you get into Emeryville, you can transfer by throughway bus into San Francisco proper, or wherever else you want to go. It's not that far from the BART. Question 3, Amtrak Southwest Chief, offering daily service from Chicago to Los Angeles, makes a long stop in the Missouri version of which Midwestern city?
Kansas City.
Kansas City is right. You should remember that, since we did stop there at 10:11 p.m. if we were on schedule. Can't remember. That was 3 years ago. But yeah, not much to see, I think, at 10:11 p.m. during that scheduled stop, except for the twinkling lights of the Kansas City skyline, which, to be fair, is nice. I've never spent much time in KC, but maybe I will. Question 4, if I wanted to visit Yosemite National Park, which Amtrak service would get me closest?
Oh boy. This one, I do not confidently know the answer to. My guess would be, well, I'm somewhat dissuaded from saying this because you already mentioned this route, but I want to say I think my best guess is the California Zephyr.
The Zephyr is unfortunately not it, Matthew.
I'm thinking maybe a throughway bus that maybe stops in Fresno.
You're right that it stops in Fresno, but this is a train.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. The Central Valley Explorer.
That would be a great name for it. Unfortunately, it happens to be called the San Joaquins, which connects the Bay Area to the Central Valley. So you can, I was actually wrong. It's not Fresno, it's Merced. And you can transfer from Merced to the Yarts bus, which gets you all the way to Yosemite and is included in the train ticket. So,
Nice.
as we say in the biz, Yarts.
Yay, area rapid transit.
Yeah, why not? Why not? Okay, Peter, this last question, well, we'll see how you do.
Okay.
This is maybe a Matthew Core question, to be perfectly honest, but them's how the chips fall. 2 state capitals, both west of the Mississippi, have an Amtrak station, but no primary airport within 50 miles. And you can name, for this question, because I'm generous, either one for the full 20 points.
Whoa.
Interesting.
Okay, so 2 state capitals have an Amtrak station, but no airport.
No primary airport. So, they might have a runway. And they're both west of the Mississippi.
Okay. West of the Mississippi. Oh man, now I have to make a mental map.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think I'll be very interesting while I'm thinking about this.
I could absolutely not get this correct. Would you like silence, or should we talk about something else while you're thinking?
So do I get 2 chances to guess, or is it?
Yeah,
How
why
does
not?
this
That
work?
seems fair. That seems fair.
I'll start with. I want to say Helena, Montana.
Unfortunately, no. No.
Okay. Um, State capitals.
I think I have mine too.
Oh,
All right.
is it?
Oh, wait,
The
no, hold on.
pressure builds. Oh.
I'm
This
down
is
to three.
perhaps, to be
I'm d-
perfectly honest, the best question in the game.
It's a
It's
great
certainly the
question.
This is
most
a really
interesting.
excellent question.
I
I've
feel bad because I'm just going to be thinking for a second.
That's okay.
I've got it down to three, I think, on
Yeah,
my
that's
end.
good.
Is it? Oh, but this might have an airport. I think I'm down between two. Um, oh shoot. I'll go with St. Paul, Minnesota.
No, the Twin Cities definitely have an airport.
Oh
Minneapolis
wait,
St. Paul International Airport.
wait. I was thinking that. Oh, never mind. I was
Yeah,
thinking of a
why
different
don't you
city.
save the
It's like that
explanation for
one I ruled out.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
after we get a Matthew guess.
okay.
Matthew, do we think Matthew gets
Oh,
one guess or two? I think because you got two, Peter, I think it's fair that
I
you
think
get,
that's fair. Yeah,
but
it's a
only
hard
10
question.
points up for grabs anyway, so.
oh. Wait, I thought about two more options that might be sneaky.
We'll say
Hmm.
you get your two
Wait, so wait,
guesses
what was
and
the
then
mileage? What was the mileage?
50 miles.
50 miles.
Mhm.
Okay. Hmm. Okay, so I'm gonna throw out I'm not these are not my final answers. I'm just throwing out the ones that I'm thinking about. So
Fair.
the ones that came to mind, the first one that came to mind was Lincoln, Nebraska. And I think I'm probably gonna go with that one, but not yet. Um, Pierre, South Dakota is one that I'm thinking about. But I don't know if they actually have train service. I guess frankly, I don't know if Nebraska does either. Columbia, Missouri is another one I thought about. But since there's a university there, maybe they do have an airport and I just don't know about it. But I think they're far enough from St. Louis. That's a possibility. My dark horses though are actually Salem, Oregon, and Olympia, Washington, um, because Salem is definitely like 60 or so miles from Eugene, which definitely has air service, and maybe it's a little too close to Portland. I think Olympia, though. Oh, maybe Olympia's not. I don't know. I feel like Olympia's kind of far from SeaTac. So that's what I'm thinking.
Okay. Well,
Um,
all very well reasoned.
okay. I'm gonna, I'm gonna try. Maybe Lincoln does have an airport.
The tension is palpable. This
Yeah,
is so exciting.
this is thrilling.
I can, because just so that, well, never mind. I'll just say two.
Okay.
Oh, I don't know what to do. I'm gonna say Lincoln, Nebraska,
That's
and
okay. Yeah, sure. Just go for it.
well, actually, tell me yes or yes.
Do you want the answer? Lincoln is wrong.
Lincoln is wrong. Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Maybe I'll say Olympia, Washington.
Olympia also unfortunately incorrect. You did mention one of them. Do you just for fun want to guess?
Columbia.
No, Columbia is not even the capital of Missouri, I believe. I
Oh,
think
sorry,
it's
Jefferson City. That's what I meant. Jefferson City.
Regardless, also
Oh
incorrect.
my God. Why did I say
The
Columbia?
I said St. Paul, Matthew.
At least that
Columbia
was
is
the
a beautiful
capital.
city. Columbia, by the way, has an excellent trail network. It's really impressive and a really pleasant place to be if anyone's in the Midwest and wants to make a stop at Mizzou, where some of my family members attended. You're welcome to do so. The correct answer that you did mention is Salem. And the one that you didn't mention is Topeka, Kansas. Salem is a stop on the Cascades, but nearest airport, as you correctly reasoned, is Portland. Topeka is served by the Southwest Chief, and its nearest major airport is KC. United Express used to fly to Topeka Regional Airport, but no longer does as of 2014. So
I did think about Topeka, but
yeah,
then I
you would
disregarded it.
assume that it has an airport, right?
Yeah, it's because
Yeah,
it's bigger
right.
than some of those other places. I also just want to state for the record that I do know that Jefferson City is the capital of Missouri.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
And that was really embarrassing that I said that Columbia was the capital of Missouri. So
You're
anyway,
absolved. Um, okay, well, that was an exciting round two. We're at a tight 120 Matthew versus 100 Peter. So truly anyone's game as we head into round three. Round three, if I continue to recall, is correct. Answers were 30 points. You can still steal. And as we continue zooming out, the theme is international transit.
yeah, see, this is where this is where it's going to really go downhill for me, I
Oh
think.
yeah, no, this is where the rubber hits the road,
Yeah.
or the steel hits the steel. Matthew, we're going to start with you once more. Question one: the third longest railway tunnel in the world also features the world's longest underwater section of any tunnel. Which tunnel am I talking about?
The the channel.
Channel's a great guess, and it's correct.
Oh, good.
The channel, by the way, estimated to cost 5.5 billion euro in 1985. It was at the time the most expensive construction project ever proposed. Luckily, it only ended up costing 9 billion euro by the time it was
Lucky them.
finished in 1994. That would be 25 billion today. So hope you enjoyed it. Question two: which nation boasts the world's largest high-speed rail network, despite having commenced operation just 15 years ago?
Is it China?
It is China. Total length of China's network is 40,000 kilometers right now. That is going to grow to 50,000 kilometers in 2025 and 200,000 kilometers by 2035. So they know how to do something that we don't. Anyone's debate what that is, you know. But you know, I want to visit China. Question three: the Trans-Australian Railway route between Adelaide and Perth includes a notable section in the Nullarbor Plain. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. It's the world's longest stretch of railway that does not do what?
Is it the longest stretch of railway that does not cross a road?
No, unfortunately. Peter, any guesses?
This sounds silly, but that doesn't like have a stop, a scheduled stop.
No. Although, to be honest, I have no idea if there are stops in there. It's the longest stretch of railway in the world that doesn't curve. The section is dead straight for 478 kilometers. That's nearly 300 miles. And you can see it from space, where
Wow.
astronaut Andy Thomas described it as appearing like, quote, someone has drawn a very fine pencil line across the desert.
It's funny. That is a very, very, very flat part of Australia.
Right.
Most of
Right.
Australia is very flat, but it is very flat. It's very
Yeah.
sad that I got the Australia question wrong. I was hoping you were going to ask me about Melbourne.
Yeah, well, that wouldn't technically be. I don't know. I'm trying to go for like the national systems,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
for
fair.
the most part. Question four: the railroad between Prague and Dresden reached the Czech village of Nehalizevez in 1951. That sparked a 10-year-old boy's lifelong fascination with trains. Which composer would later come up with the theme for the opening movement of his Seventh Symphony while waiting for a festival train at the Prague station?
Oh, I think there's something that's telling me this is Dvorak.
Is that your guess?
Yes.
And you're right.
Good.
Dvorak, by the way, apparently disappointed once he came to the States by the train spotting opportunities at Grand Central Station, since there was a lack of opportunities to watch trains pass one another. He once declared, I would give all my symphonies for inventing the locomotive, which is so sweet.
Wow.
Okay, well done. Question five. Amtrak offered no international service until 1972 when Congress authorized cross-border services. 30 points up for grabs here. You can name one, two, or all three for 10 points each original endpoints specified in that congressional legislation.
I believe that, well, I think Montreal is going to be one of them.
It is.
I think that Vancouver is going to be one of them.
It is.
So the third one, I mean, the obvious one, if it can curve around the little lake there, would be Toronto.
Toronto's a great guess. It's unfortunately incorrect. Peter, in full transparency, I don't think you have a chance of getting this one, but you're welcome to guess that third city. You can have a
If
couple
Peter
guesses
doesn't
if
get it
you
right,
want.
can I have another guess?
Yeah, why not? I
Wait,
mean,
so
not for points, but
Sure,
you
sure.
can try.
Yeah.
so this is, could you read the beginning of the question again?
Yeah. Amtrak first offered international service in 1972 when Congress authorized cross-border services. So I'm asking for, there were 3 cities in that legislation.
Okay. I'm wondering if it's in Mexico. That feels very, like, I say this with heavy air quotes, very un-American of us to offer an easy link between the two countries. But I don't know. I mean, like, maybe Tijuana?
Great guess. Unfortunately, wish the Pacific Surfliner went down there, but it doesn't and hasn't. You want to make any other ones or?
Yeah. Throw in some different cities. I mean, I honestly didn't
No,
even
I was.
think about Mexico,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
some places I thought about were Windsor, Ontario, Thunder Bay, Ontario, Fredericton, New Brunswick. Okay.
Ottawa?
Okay, I'm done. Oh, Ottawa's a good one. No. Okay.
Quebec
Yeah.
City?
One wonderful guesses. Peter, you were right. It is in Mexico. The city, as it happens, is Nuevo Laredo. I don't know if anyone happens to be familiar with that, but
Well,
I
it's
wasn't.
on the other side of the river from Laredo, which is the southern terminus. I'm sure I know we're not speaking about roads on this episode, but
Yeah.
it is the southern
Well,
term.
if you insist, it is your podcast.
It is the southern terminus of Interstate 35, Laredo.
That's great to know.
So, okay.
Anyway, I do want to thank the Amtrak trivia page for that question. I pretty much stole it verbatim. Vancouver, of course, terminates the Cascade service up in the PNW. Montreal ends the Adirondack. Nuevo Laredo, not even accessible via Amtrak anymore, so I would have been very impressed if anyone knew it. It was originally accessible via the Inter-American, but that route was shortened due to budget cuts, and today it runs as the Texas Eagle. Okay, so that was a cool, let's say 3 2/3 out of 5. Pretty good for this caliber of difficulty. Peter, are you ready for your 5 questions about international transit?
Oh man, I hope so. Let's do it.
I believe in you.
Thank you.
Question 1, engineer Hans Hilfiger designed an iconic component of each Swiss Federal Railway station. The reason for its accuracy is that each rotation is triggered by an electric impulse from a master device rather than an internal mechanism. So, Peter, what train station machine did Hilfiger invent?
Is it like a something that tells the seconds on a clock?
That's absolutely right. It is the SBB iconic railway clock. So it takes each SBB clock's second hand about 58.5 seconds to circle the face. And then it pauses briefly, as you might remember, at the top of the clock before continuing once it receives that electrical impulse. Fun fact, Swiss trains, I don't know if we knew this at the time that we went through Switzerland, but they always leave at the top of the minute, which makes the whole insane accuracy thing even more impressive. And Mondain, the watchmaker, also makes a line of Swiss railway clock watches that would make a perfect gift for me in case anyone is listening. Question 2.
Not that you have a birthday coming up.
No, of course not.
Tomorrow.
Well, I couldn't possibly say. Question 2. In 2006, the cast of the Da Vinci Code film broke the record for the longest non-stop high-speed international journey by traveling from London to the Cannes Film Festival. What kind of train did they take?
Do you want the name of like the locomotive, or
I'll take whatever you want to give.
what kind of train did they take?
What service, what company?
What year was this again?
2006.
Was it Eurostar?
Was Eurostar. Eurostar E300. I also would have accepted British Rail Class 373. That's the type of train, and TGV just in general, because that's who provides Eurosky service through France. The journey took 7 hours 25 minutes at an average speed of 191.6 kilometers an hour, just over 119 miles per hour. Unfortunately, the cast arrived to negative reviews of the Da Vinci Code, which was described variously as grim, unwieldy, and plotting. Alas.
Sad. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you seen the Da Vinci Code?
I have not.
I read the book this summer.
I mean, I've read the book. I like the book. Yeah. I mean, it's classic Dan Brown. I mean, who cares if it's good or not?
it only took me, I read it over the course of 3 months. It took me forever to get through it, but I did finish it last month. No, in August. That was not last month. 2 months ago.
Time is a mystery wrapped in an enigma. Question 3. In 2018, the world's busiest train station saw an average of 3.6 million passengers a day. Which city is it located in?
Oh boy. Is it Tokyo?
It is Tokyo. Well done. That's Shinjuku Station, in case you were curious. Contains 35 platforms and 200 exits.
That is unreal.
Yeah, gosh. I went back to check. I'm not sure if jet lag made it there. I don't think it did, since they would have been taking longer journeys. But by the way, if anyone wants a real cool piece of media about transit and hasn't seen Jet Lag the game yet, I wanted to do like a more specific jet lag question, but I sort of covered all the international ground that they cover for the most part already. Anyway, watch Jet Lag the game. If y'all want to pay me for promotion or whatever, truly at Jasper Davidoff on Twitter.
Or if you want to have us as guests on the show.
Oh yeah, I mean, Matthew, have you seen Jet Lag? I feel like we talk about it a lot.
No.
Oh, you should watch it. You really should.
You would like it.
Yeah, you would like it. Okay. Sorry to get off the rails, but question 4.
I made that joke earlier in the episode and nobody laughed.
Oh, did you?
So
I didn't even notice.
Oh, you did. You said this is really getting off the rails.
Yeah, I totally did, and nobody acknowledged it.
I'm sorry, I should have laughed. I feel really bad now. That's
yeah,
my
you
bad.
should.
That's my bad.
I'm very upset, actually.
Do you want an extra? Do you want an extra like 50 points?
No.
No, he doesn't.
No, I don't. No, I just want laughter. That's all I want.
Yeah. What greater gift is there than the admiration of our friends? Question 4. Bolu, the mascot of Indian Railways, is dressed as a train guard holding a green signal lamp. What kind of animal native to Southeast Asia is he?
Oh my gosh. I've never seen Bolu before.
No, why would you have?
Well, you know, the Indian Railways are fair.
He's very cute. He's very cute.
Okay, he's very cute. Thank you for that, Fritz.
Yeah, and by the way, I find many animals hideous. I'm famously unsentimental.
I want to say he's probably like a cute monkey of some kind.
That's a great guess. Unfortunately, incorrect. Matthew, any guesses?
Elephant.
He is an elephant.
No. Oh, that is very cute.
Yeah. A 2003 press release from the Indian government described Bolu as an ethical, responsible, sincere, and cheerful icon.
Oh, cute.
You love to see it. Okay. Question 5, Peter. The Switzerland section of Miniature Wunderland, the largest model railway system in the world, features an electric chocolate factory where visitors can push a button to watch a small block of chocolate make its way through the factory and into their hands. What brand of Swiss chocolate does it dispense?
Lindt.
Lindt is absolutely right. Well done. Due to health concerns, by the way, Miniature Wunderland clarifies that the bars of chocolate visitors receive are not actually made in the miniature factory. As we're making content recommendations, folks, if you happen to find yourself in Hamburg, you really should go to Miniature Wunderland. Yeah, fun time where you get to write questions about anything you want, and you're suddenly kind of well traveled. By you, I mean me. With that, the game remains anyone's. The score is Matthew 245, Peter 220. How are we feeling?
Better than I was at the beginning.
Yeah, y'all have been doing great.
Yeah, I am surprised. I don't think I've ever done this well on any trivia before.
This is certainly the highest you've ever scored on this show. Um,
Thank you for reminding us, Matthew.
Okay, well, look, I have to say I think these questions are pretty difficult. So I'm sure that listeners will admire and recognize the breadth of knowledge that you both boast about getting around in this crazy, crazy world.
If
And
there's one thing that I appreciate more than the affirmation and laughter of my friends, it's the affirmation and acceptance of strangers that I don't know.
Good.
Yeah, based on
Thank
my
you.
trivia
Thank you.
knowledge.
Thank you for that.
Yeah. Anyway, Peter, you were going to say something.
well, I was going to also compliment Jasper not only on the difficulty of the questions, but how interesting they are, and
Mhm.
the quality of the fake answers on the multiple choice were
Thank you.
excellent.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm doing my wait, don't tell me producer audition. Peter, if you're listening, at Jasper Davidoff on Twitter. Yeah, this is really just me soliciting any work.
Yeah.
It is time for round 4, the final mile, as we say in transportation. As you know, this is worth the big bucks, 40 points for each correct answer. I think generally each of y'all are supposed to write down your answers just for authenticity. Do we have things
Yeah.
suitable for such a
Yeah,
purpose?
I'm good.
One moment, I have a pen here. Actually, I'll use a pencil just in case. And I'll use the back of my handy prop.
Perfect. Yeah, really adding some emotional value from the memories that we had today. All right, theme for round 4, zooming out even more from international transit, is interplanetary transit, which is to say space travel. I'm just kidding.
Oh God, thank you.
Okay.
I just wanted to scare you. It's just hard questions about transit.
Great.
Are we ready?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Question 1. Social Security is often dubbed the third rail of American politics. In transportation, what is the function of the third rail? All right, we ready?
Yes.
Okay. Peter, do you want to reveal your answer?
Yes, I said to provide electricity to the trains.
Matthew?
Oh, it's probably mirrored.
Yeah, no, that's
whatever.
what I said.
No, I
Electrify
trust you.
I said electrify the train, powers the train.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's exactly right. The third rail, the reason why it carries a negative connotation in that particular colloquialism is because if you touch it, you will probably die. And people have. Question 2. The largest bus rapid transit network in the world spans 251.2 kilometers. That's 156.1 miles. In which world capital, located on the world's most populous island?
This is tricky. This combines a few different
It does.
areas
It's a
of
real synthesis
knowledge.
question, isn't it?
You said this is bus rapid transit.
Bus rapid transit, which is not, by the way, just an ordinary bus system.
True.
You said most populous island?
The world's
Located
most
on-
populous island. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
I have a couple of ideas floating around.
Yeah.
Okay.
Same.
I think I don't know how I'm going to decide on one, so I think I just want to go for it. I don't know, Matthew, if you want to take more time to think.
Yeah, give me another minute to crunch the numbers
take
here.
your time.
And the answer you're looking for is the capital?
Yes, the world capital.
Okay. I'm going to write my 3 down and then I'm going to think about it for another second.
Okay.
I'll write mine down as well.
All right. I think I know what I want to
Okay.
answer.
I think I do too.
All right. Well, to vary it up, let's start with Matthew. Matthew,
Great.
what's your answer?
I'm gonna say Jakarta.
All right. Peter?
I'm saying New York City.
Bold. um, so the world's most populous island is Java. Um, New York City is about 8 million people, Peter. Java has
It's way
156.1
more.
million.
I
That
wasn't
is a little
sure.
bit more.
Okay. Yeah.
So, yes, Matthew, as you can clearly tell, you're correct. Transjakarta serves more than 1 million passengers a day. So well done.
Wow.
Oh, that's a
Per
great
day.
question. That's a really, really great question.
Thank you so much. That means so much coming from you, Matthew.
I was struggling a lot with what I was defining as an island. So
Yeah, Peter, I don't want to beat you up about this, but I would also note that New York City is not a capital.
you said world
regardless.
capital.
Well, okay, well, like it's a capital of like
Seat
many
of
things, but
government.
not a country. I mean,
Yeah.
but I see where you were coming from.
Okay.
It was an
I
honorable
thought,
guess.
and especially since you repeated world capital, I thought that was
Yeah.
part of like a tricky bit of the question. But I
Yeah,
see
that's
that I
fair.
was foolish.
That's fair. And again, not truly. I respect the guess, but also almost no bus rapid transit in New York at all.
Well, but going to and from New York from New Jersey, the Lincoln Tunnel is what I was thinking of.
Is that even BRT?
There's it's a bus only uh
Yeah.
service.
Okay. Yeah. I guess then
And
sure. Yeah.
it's
I didn't know
it
that.
serves the busiest like the Port Authority in New York City is the busiest bus terminal in the country.
Okay. Well, that's
So
great to know. That's it. Okay. Fair guess. Fair guess. I will say that I would never write a question about New Jersey.
that's fair.
Question 3 for all the marbles.
I was gonna say what
Yeah.
my other guesses were.
Oh, sure.
My second guess was gonna be Tokyo.
Right. That's what I
because
thought you might guess.
of
Yeah.
Honshu. But
Yeah.
I thought, well, maybe the other 3 main islands of Japan have enough share of the population that takes it down. Plus, you already asked a question about Tokyo, so I thought,
Yeah.
well, we'll throw a little,
Yeah.
we'll throw a shot in the dark here and go with
Yeah.
Jakarta.
No. Well done.
Thank you.
Good supposition. Okay. Question 3. Question the last. The Shanghai Maglev is the world's fastest operating commercial train within a 10% margin of error. What is its maximum speed in kilometers an hour?
Kilometers per hour. It's within 10 kilometers per hour. Is that what you said?
Yeah,
Then
I mean, if you
10%.
wanted,
10%.
if you
Oh,
want to do
10%.
miles per hour, yeah, 10%. If
Did
you
I
want to
say
do miles
miles?
per hour, then we can
Did I say miles or did I say kilometers? I meant kilometers. I'll play along with your kilometers game. Okay.
Yeah, I will note that there have been other train speeds in kilometers in this episode.
Yes, that is true.
So you do have some frame of reference.
No, I know what a kilometer is. I got it.
I'm
Thank
sure you do.
I'm familiar with the concept of the kilometer. Okay. Doesn't mean I don't have to do math. Okay.
Well, to entertain the listeners while we're thinking, my fun fact about the Shanghai Maglev is that although it is the fastest transit service in the world, actually more riders take the Shanghai Metro, which also stops at the Shanghai airport. So it is, in a lot of ways, just a proof of concept.
That's a great fun fact. Thank you.
Okay, I've got my answer.
I have mine as well.
Okay. Peter, why don't you go first this time?
My guess is 500 kilometers per hour.
Okay. Matthew?
I said 447 kilometers per hour.
Chirp. Well, the correct answer is 430. So Matthew, that falls well within the margin of error. Unfortunately, Peter, you're just outside of it. But a very reasonable guess. It just science hasn't gotten quite that far. So that's 267 miles per hour, by the way.
It's pretty fast.
It takes 7.5 minutes to cover the 18 miles between Shanghai's Pudong Airport and the city center.
Gosh,
Um,
if only I had that here, I could get to Claremont in like 10
yeah,
minutes.
The Inland Empire maglev, the real Gold Line
The,
extension.
Yeah, what are we doing, Gavin? Come on.
the express service from the city of South Pasadena to Big Bridges.
Yeah. All right, well, a thrilling game. We come out with a slightly lopsided 365 for Matthew for every day of the year that he thinks about the interstate highway system, and 260 for Peter. But you both played an excellent game and represented the world's transit systems admirably.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. This was a blast.
Wow. I know more
Yeah.
about transit systems than I thought I did.
There you go.
Or maybe you're just a good question writer and only ask me questions about stuff that I knew.
Who
Which is
could
possible.
say? Well, you pulled Bolu the elephant out of thin air, so
Well,
there must be
I'm mad
something.
about that. I don't care how cute the elephant
Yeah.
is.
we'll haunt you for the rest of your life, Peter.
Yeah.
Well, Peter,
All right.
we'll have to have you on again at some point. Maybe the fourth time will be a charm. Will be the charm for
Wow. Way to just dance on
Brutal
my
stuff.
corpse, Matthew.
Yeah.
brutal stuff.
I'll just, yeah.
Well, Matthew, thank you for letting me do this. This has been truly the most fun that I've had in a while.
Oh, good.
So,
well, thank
thanks
you
for
for
the
writing.
feedback.
Yeah, thank you for doing that. And if anybody out there who would like to do something similar, write a whole episode worth of questions and pit me against somebody that I care very deeply for, feel free to do that, and we'll see if we're still friends at the end of the day. I think we're still friends, Peter. Is that correct?
Um.
Oh, okay. Peter has disappeared. Okay, that's fine.
I think we are friends, Matthew.
Okay, good. Good.
Yeah.
Good. We'll take a celebratory ride on some transit system together when next we find ourselves in the same locale.
Absolutely.
Well,
and happy early birthday to Jasper.
Yes, and happy birthday, Jasper, whose birthday will have passed by the time that this episode airs. But happy birthday.
It's forever my birthday on this podcast. Actually, it's not.
Actually, it's not, because we're not actually recording it on your birthday.
It's
close.
No matter when you're listening to this episode, Jasper's birthday is tomorrow.
Right. I'm always this close.
Never quite there.
I'm like Peter Pan. I have never aged for a day in my life.
Don't forget to text him.
Yeah. Tomorrow.
Yeah, no matter when you're listening to this, text Jasper tomorrow about something. Well, you can also DM me on Twitter at Jasper Davidoff.
If that's allowed.
Yeah, if you want to hire Jasper to do anything.
Me. Yeah.
If you say your prayer to our Lord Elon Musk first.
Oh, Jesus.
Lord.
Yeah, you know what I should have asked about for every question on this episode is the Hyperloop, of course, the best form of transit.
Yeah.
Because not only does it exist in all the places where he said it would be built, but it works, and there is no chance that you will die down there.
And on that note, I think that's the end of the show. This has been quite a wonderful ride. Thank you, Jasper and Peter, for being on. Thank you, Jasper, for writing and doing the hosting duties today. Thank you to Mason Cook for composing the music for this podcast, and thank you for listening. Please like and subscribe to Trivia Over Tea on your preferred podcast platform, and please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts if that is your preferred podcast platform. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Trivia Over Tea, so you can stay up to date with when our episodes are being released. If you would like to make a small contribution to this podcast, or if you're Amtrak and would like to donate a huge chunk of money to this podcast, you can do so at buymeacoffee.com/trivia-over-tea. And we'll see you again next week when we'll have some type of episode. Who knows exactly what it will be yet? I certainly don't. But there will be something for you. So thank you. We will see you